You're listening to Radioactive right here on YouTube. My name is Victoria. With me right now, I got Patrick Kordyback from Stereos. How are you doing, Pat?
Doing great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm super excited to have you on the show today. The last time I talked to you was about a year and a half ago, and you guys just came off of your 10-year reunion show, and you also had one single out called Sunset Gold. And now we fast forward to today, and you guys have 3 new singles out, Look Good, Glory Days, and Hands Off You. Can you just take me through the process of writing and recording these songs?
Um, like Sunset Gold specifically, I wrote like right after that reunion show, just because we decided after the 2 reunion shows. Actually, I don't know if we spoke before the Edmonton one or after it, but once they both sold out, we were like, "Hey, we have to do this again." So I wrote Sunset Gold, and that one was more of like just a song of the band and like how we kind of all went our separate ways, but it felt like it was meant to be that we came back together. And then Look Good and Glory Days specifically, I wrote with a friend of mine called Dan Davidson. He's like a country artist, but he's got an amazing pop ear too. Aaron from the band actually was in those co-writes as well. And so the idea behind them is like super different. Like Look Good was definitely this idea that we wanted to make something that, I feel like it's been a really rough year and a half, 2 years now for everyone. And so we kind of wanted something where it could be this anthem of like self-love and positivity. And then Glory Days is almost like kind of making fun of ourselves, man. Like anyone who's friends with us knows that when we're in a room together, one or more of us, like from Stereos, it's an absolute nightmare because all we do is just talk about stories from the road. And I'm sure like any friends we've had, significant others, they probably get super annoyed by that. So it's kind of like owning the just all about love reminisce. We feel like we're still those young men in certain ways. And so it was kind of just like I think to the old days. Then Hands Off You was just like a fun pop song. It's the last song I wrote for the album. And honestly, like that is really my wheelhouse. Like I wrote that in one day, and it was just like trying to make as catchy a song as possible, and I really wanted to fit saxophones on the song. So that was like the only motivation behind that one.
Yeah. And how has the reaction been to fans of Stereos or even just followers of the band?
Like it's been incredible. It's been surprising just because like again at the reunion shows that was one thing. But just kind of like what we meant to people, we definitely did not appreciate the level of like how in people's like, pop culture Stereos was. And so to see these people who have grown up now, they're all 10 years older as well, and still love the new stuff has been a little surprising. Like I don't think we went off the rails too much with our sound. So I think if you like the old stuff, it makes sense that you'd like the new stuff, but it's honestly super encouraging just to know that they're kind of still there with us.
Mm-hmm. And out of all the new songs that you wrote, which is your favorite?
I'm going to say a song called 1,000 Days. I think it's going to be a while before anyone hears it, but I think it's my favorite one. It's just, my favorite song.
Yeah. And just getting into like the aspect of promoting your songs, how different is it promoting your music now compared to when you first started as a band? Because obviously now there's Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and Twitter, and then when you guys first started, it was probably just like MySpace, right?
And thank God I'm 25 because to do all the new stuff, and we definitely don't. And like we work butts off TV show. So we were a hardworking like punk rock DIY band. We were in a van, slept in Walmart parking lots, did the whole thing. So we worked hard, but like you said, it was just like MySpace and then playing live shows, and then hopefully every time you come back to the same city, first time you play, you get 10 people out. Hopefully then you get 20. That's kind of how we went into it. But once the TV show came around, the whole promotion side, to be like honest, was out of our hands, right? We now had a TV show, we had a label, and so we had a lot of people doing that for us. And so it's been a lot of learning, to be honest with you, just like how to adapt to a completely new, new platforms and ways of getting yourself out there. It's also way more competitive because of those platforms. So I think it's now as important as ever just to have a good team around us, because I still am like learning. Like the amount of times I'll post something and my manager will call me and be like, dude, you did it wrong. Like it's not the right dimensions or it's not squared. I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know what I'm doing. So thank God there's young people around us.
Yeah. And also, like, going into the recording and writing aspect of it too, what are some things that you learned to do differently to the recording and writing process compared to when you wrote the first two Stereos albums? Because I imagine there is a huge difference.
In some ways, I'll tell you what, like, the writing is exactly the same. It's just myself and a laptop, and I still have not learned an instrument to play. So it's just, me working inside the box on a computer, thank God, because I'd be if I needed to know how to play an instrument. But so the writing process is still very much the exact same way. It'll be, what's changed is now I have a voice notes app on my phone. And so I do think I can be a nightmare to hang out with sometimes, where I'm like, oh, stop talking for 2 seconds, and I have to hum something weird into my voice notes because I don't want to forget my song ideas. Now recording is completely different though. You're so right. And like that's Miles in the band. He's really, really good. Same with Aaron, actually. Those guys really know what they're doing. We had a great producer with Dave Mohashi, but it's, what you can do in a basement now, as opposed to the art studio, which, is cool too. It's on par. Like, I think sounds on this new album are just as good, if not better, than some of the stuff we used to put out. We were in a band, Rob and I, 65 after Stereos for two. We did that, like these huge, amazing studios in Vancouver, like famous studios, and I think our new album sounds 10 times better. So it's just a matter of like adapting, having people know what they do, and yeah, you don't need the works to make it sound really good.
Mm-hmm. And now I just want to take a quick sidebar to the Hands Off You music video. How much fun was it to shoot? And also, where did you get those dance moves from? Because there are a ton of dance moves in there.
Yeah, so I got my dance moves from the Mirror. Actually, it's funny. I'm not joking. Like, I actually asked my sister to reach out to someone who's like a dance instructor locally, because I was like, I want to look good in this video. It's a very like upbeat dancey song. And so I was going to get someone to actually like kind of work with me and just create some moves. But then COVID, like our restrictions got even worse right at that time. I'm trying to remember what month it was. But anyways, like it just wasn't in the cards. So I was like, I'm going to like literally just like listen to the song over and over and like get some moves. And then I won't lie, I had to like, after every take, my manager brought me a drink. And so as I loosened up, the moves kind of became, I don't know if they got better, but there were more. And then, yeah, it was, and to answer the first question, like how fun was it? It was like the most fun. I felt like, and again, we definitely appreciate the old days. We really do. I don't want to sound like we don't, but it is so much different now. Even the fact that I was on a set doing a video was wild to me, just because there's a gap there of like 7-8 years where I thought I was done with music. And so, yeah, it was so much fun to just be doing that again. And, center of attention, which I don't hate. Just ask my friend.
Yeah. And also in the music video you did, one for sure, maybe two, some mic flips. How many takes did those take?
Oh, those I've got down. So I've always been a mic swinger. Ever since I got into Taking Back Sunday in like the year 2002, and they had a video for a song. It was Great Romances of the 20th Century, and there's parts of the video where he's not even singing into the mic and there's vocals happening, but he's just swinging the mic, and I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And so ever since then, and I was playing live shows, I've been a mic swinger. So I've got that pretty much down. I have some horror stories. Like I've definitely hit myself in the mouth before. One of the first times I ever tried it live, I didn't know, like here's an inside tip. You have to tape where the mic connects to the cord. You have to tape that together. I didn't know that. So first song of our set, I'm like swinging the mic and it flew off into the crowd. And the other side is that the crowd was like 4 people. So it's not as though it was like easy to retrieve. It was a nightmare. But yeah, I've kind of got that over the years.
Yeah. And now that you have all these new songs out, will there be an album coming out soon?
Will be, yes. There's going to be like more of a detailed like announcement, but I don't mind telling you. Yeah, absolutely. That was the goal going into it. And, I think going forward, the single kind of like method of releasing music is actually kind of the best way to do it. I think that like if you give someone 13 songs to listen to right now, I don't know if they have the actual attention to listen to an album the way I used to. Like when an album came out when I was a kid, I don't know how like you listen to music, but for me, I would like literally sit in my room with the lights off and listen to the whole thing. And like times the first day it came out, that's kind of gone from. Definitely get this album out, but from that point forward, I think it's. I can't speak for the band, but I think we might need to just kind of do the single thing. I think the good side of the single thing too, though, is that you can kind of have a complete new identity, image, and vibe on each new song, and it can be like, as opposed to just one theme per album.
Mm-hmm. And will there be a tour to follow the album release as well?
Yeah, again, but it's I will say this to you. I love writing songs like so much, especially when I have a new song that I know is good. It's one of the best feelings, and I love recording those songs because then they come to life. It's amazing. I love releasing the music because I love the feedback. But there's nothing more rewarding that I like. Nothing even close to getting out there and playing live. And so I will tell you this: that I don't think we'd even be back doing this if that weren't part of the plan.
Thank you so much for doing an interview today, Pat.
Thank you so much for having me. Seriously, anytime. I appreciate it. You have great questions.